All right, good morning. It is Monday, March the 3rd, 2025. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. It was a beautiful one here in Charleston. Our family, we spent a lot of time outside, which it's nice to be able to do that in early March. Hopefully, I'm not rubbing it in too hard for my friends and family up north, but yeah, beautiful weekend here. Last week was also first week of our review season, which was just wonderful. It's always our favorite time of year. Yeah, just kind of getting to hear some of the stories from recent months within your families, and then to hear plans for the months ahead. Always really fun on that front. Last week in markets, kind of to add on to the theme from last week, but continued outperformance by international markets, which some have been surprised by. The MSCI ex-US, so the index that it's the most commonly used benchmark kind of for international markets, is now up 8%. So international markets up 8% this year. So just the last 2 months, or the first 2 months of the year, I should say. All right, so international markets up 8, where you have here in the U.S. mostly flat. All right, so mostly flat, depending on the benchmark you look at. The Nasdaq is minus 2.5% this year. Okay, and really, kind of the underperformance in the U.S. has largely been led down from big tech. Okay, so kind of the so-called Magnificent Seven really been kind of underperforming this year. And a nice little example of this, I think last week's NVIDIA report really kind of just a small example of how this happens, all right? So NVIDIA reports a quarter with sales up 78% year over year. So 78% increase in sales, which most companies would just die for. 78% increase in sales, and yet the stock goes down roughly 8% that day. All right, so how does that happen? Well, the price you pay matters. Okay, and I know they don't like to say that a lot in whatever CNBC, other financial markets, but the price you pay matters. Okay, if NVIDIA was a stock that was trading, call it a price to earnings of 20 or 25 times, and then you have sales growth 70+%, like that stock is going way higher. The problem is when the stock is already trading at 45, 50 times earnings, and you report growth like that, it's underwhelming. I read another report said, while this is great having sales up 78%, it was the lowest upside surprise NVIDIA's reported in the last 8 quarters. Okay, so the price you pay matters. And then just to kind of tie it back into international, people are like, well, how does international? I haven't seen anything great come up about international in recent months. Well, here's the thing. International markets, whether you're looking at price to earnings or in our office, price to book is something we've been looking at. And actually, for those of you that already had the review last week, we have a slide on this. But international markets, they are priced. There is so much pessimism built into international markets, right? It's just it's horrible. And so all international markets have to do is go from horrible to bad. They don't have to be great. They just have to go from horrible to bad and have really nice performance. Again, because the expectations are just so low. They don't need to go horrible to great, just horrible to bad, and you can have a nice market return. Whereas, again, just compared to some big cap US tech, they're already priced incredibly well, where there's a risk if you're priced up here and you just do great instead of incredible, like you can have sideways or even, as NVIDIA just experienced, a lower return, right? So the price you pay matters, kind of the main point. PCE inflation, we also received last week 2.6%, which was in line with expectations. We still saw yields come down. Okay, so bond prices higher, yields down. And really, I think that was less to do with the inflation figure, more so just kind of some of the other market uncertainty, whether it's geopolitical risk, tariffs being implemented here in the weeks ahead. So we'll see. We get some manufacturing data this week as well that we'll be keeping an eye on. But looking forward to another week of reviews. Questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.